Warning. The following video is an amalgamation of many things, items, knickknacks, doodads, and material objects. If you do not like things, items, knickknacks, doodads, or material objects, or do not like looking at them, please click away immediately. I now present you with... This boy is quite particular with his style of decor, style of organization. Every little thing has its place. Its home. There is no posted up blueprint available to others of where every single solitary item resides. Only he knows. Retail stores employ this same type of arrangement. But they do have a blueprint, a system in place to tell you where a product goes, where its home is. Rule number 1. Everything has its home. If you move the thing from its home, return it upon its use being concluded. Lest you want to pay the price. The debts are collected by the Colonel. And the Colonel, well, he is always watching. Now the boy is not quite sure why it all must be this way. It just must. But the boy does know where his policy comes from. The boy's mother, well, she shares the same style of decor, style of organization. And the boy, he loves this about her. This picture's had its home since before the boy was even born.
There's a cool picture that we got at Cowtown. I think we paid $1 or $2 for that.
Sometimes when the boy is doing a mindless task around his home, especially in the kitchen. The kitchen is his mother's space, curated and maintained to the specs only she knows, and set to the standards only she sets. And when the boy escapes this trance of the chore at hand, he sits there for a moment, looking at every detail he can notice, and appreciates it, for it is beautiful. Sometimes his mother would call him down for a tour of the new things she had put up, a housewarming party for the new things in their new homes, thrown by her. And the boy was often the only attendee. He brought no gifts for this party. To his mother, he was the gift. The opportunity to simply give the tour was more than enough for her. And fairly often the boy, well, he would notice something new, something he's never quite noticed before. He's lived in the same home his entire life. How has he not noticed these things inside the walls, the drawn-on with crayon walls he spent so much of his time? He's not really sure, but he suspects it's because of the nature of her decor, of her organization, and how easy it is to gloss over the small, individual things. Let me tell you a story of the boy, his parents, and his brother in the spring of 2007.
Okay, we're in a park in Rome. Carter's riding the, whatever that is.
It's high.
A family trip to Rome, to explore and to visit the place the boy's mother once called her home.
Siamo qui un regalo. Sì, veramente.
No, a loro qualcosa dopo fare.
Dici ciao mamma.
Ciao. Ciao. A tutti americani, ciao ciao.
There's the Coliseum.
Hi, Kyla.
Elephants are there.
Yep.
Look at that.
He's our tour guide. Carter sure is. It's pretty cool. Hi, Dad.
Let's look for some food.
Hi, Car. Hi, Car. It just goes on and on and on and on and on and on and on. Unbelievable.
And as the story goes, on the day they visited the Sistine Chapel, yes, the Sistine Chapel that took 4 years to paint, the Sistine Chapel that has floor-to-ceiling murals, details galore, and hundreds of different faces.
The detail is just unbelievable.
While the boy, in his 3-year-old body, he looked up and said, "Mommy, that lady is in our dining room." And you bet your ass she was. You see, most of the time he just sees the big picture. But when he looks a little closer, a whole new world emerges. The boy, he aspires to have his space, like his mother's space, curated and maintained to the specs only he knows, and set to the standards only he sets. There's one issue though. The boy's new space was his mother's old space. It was chaotic and unorganized to him, but to the boy's mother, though it being chaotic and unorganized, knew where everything was. Everything had its home, its spot. And the boy's takeover of the space, well, it didn't sit too well with her at first. It still sometimes doesn't.
Where did you move this snow shovel?
Open the door. Walk in. To the left. Up under the loft, all roped up there with the rake and the hedge trimmers. You see, the boy moved the snow shovel and many other things out of their previous home, and now his mother has no clue where their current homes are. Though he does try and label everything he can. You see, the boy, and his mother too, he thinks, well, their brains work in a certain way. They have images in their mind, images of a thing, and they can recall exactly where that thing is. So long as it hasn't left its home. And when the thing does leave its home, well, it infuriates the boy and his mother. And more times than not, it is each other who has moved the thing from its home and never returned it. But why is it like that? The boy asks himself. Well, he's not really sure. But nonetheless, that's the case. They're both rams, territorial, with a necessity to maintain their domain to their own specs, their own standards. And the butting of heads is the non-negotiable constant that their similar natures require. No love lost, for it's the butting of heads which allows bits and pieces of their frustrations to be transferred and understood by one another. The boy believes this will never change, and deep down knows he doesn't want it to. He recognizes that it's the very butting of heads that sharpens, strengthens his horns, and hers too, a trade-off for eternity that reminds him that he is home.
Donde está the snow shovel?